Thank you, Anika, for that wonderful introduction. Good morning, all. Let me take you through the changes that we have done in our latest version of Sales Play and take you through some of the interesting reports that we have in the backend, which will help you with analytics, which are much needed in this time of the day. Sales Play is a mobile and web-based POS system, or we also call it a cash register system, which we have integrated almost an accounting system, which helps you to track not only sales, but also the performance of employees, inventory, sales returns, analytics, all of this into a single mobile application, which works perfectly and seamlessly in your mobile phone, also in a tablet. And if you wish, this can also be used in conventional POS machines on a web-based module. So we have been, the app itself is fairly old and you've been users of the app. We are delighted to bring and introduce our latest version of the mobile app, which is the centralized POS modification. So with the centralized POS modification, there are important changes. To begin with, the inventory of the entire organization is now real-time and integrated. This is very useful if you have multiple shops or multiple terminals within a single shop. This allows any sale done from any of the terminals or any of the shops to get updated in real time in your inventory. This allows you to find the real-time status of your inventory, and it's very useful, as I said, for users or merchants who have multiple shops or multiple terminals. When it comes to customer loyalty program that we run on the mobile POS Sales Play, the centralized POS version allows you to have a single registration for your customer. So your customer don't have to register themselves each time they go to a different shop in your chain. In a different way, this also helps if there are any refunds, if there are any returns of items sold, the customer can go to any of your shops or any of the terminals and get their refund done seamlessly. So this is the most important change that we have done. And with this, as I said, the inventory, customer loyalty, all those programs will be now synchronized with all the shops that you have installed your Sales Play POS application. With the new version, we have introduced an advanced inventory module, which will be available in the BackOffice portal of Sales Play, that will allow you to use a purchase order. Just like a purchase order that you would have done manually, now you can do it in the system, and you can track the status of the purchase order by using the Sales Play BackOffice itself. You can raise a purchase order, you can email the purchase order, you can register your suppliers, and most importantly, when you get your goods supplied to your warehouse, you can then enter your goods received note, or GRN in simple terms, and track the progress of your PO, or you can track the progress of your purchase order. The GRN is done in such a way that even a partial receipt of goods, you can upload it into the system so you know exactly which items of the purchase order has been delivered, or which items of the purchase order has not been delivered. So you can keep your supply chain related details up to date in your inventory. Another feature which came with this new version of Sales Play Advanced Inventory is a stock adjustment. So under stock adjustment, when you do internal audits, when you do stock counts, if you find any stocks which either missing or miscounted, those changes can be accommodated in the system. Those changes can be recorded in the inventory, of course, with a note added to it. So this is very useful for your audits and for you to keep a track of your physical stock in reconciliation with the stock which you have in the system. Advanced inventory also allows you to do transfer of goods. Now, this is really important if you have a central warehouse and multiple shops running in our Sales Play POS application, where you can transfer goods from one shop to the other using the system itself. So what this allows you is to have perfect control over your inventory and to have perfect up-to-date inventory in the system as well as in your physical warehouse. So in essence, by introducing the centralized POS version of Sales Play, we have enabled your supply chain to be tracked and kept up to date throughout your operation. With that, let me now take you through some of the reports that we have, again, under our analytics, and you can access to some of these reports through our BackOffice portal. To begin with, we have a sales summary report which elaborate the composition of your revenue. Now, all this, the pie chart that you are seeing right now is as a percentage of your sales, and the breakdown on your left, you can see how your sale finally ends up in your gross profit. So this is very useful for you to have a quick look at, have a quick understanding of your GP or gross profit, and then maneuver your business accordingly. This report can be selected to your all your shops, or it can be selected only to one shop. It also allows you to select a particular day, or you can take a range of days and understand the top line profitability of the business. Sales receipt report. This will allow you to have a look at all the transactions that happened in a given period. It can be sales, it can be returns, it can be transfers, it can be cash sales, it can be credit sales. So you have a transaction log of all the activities done through the POS terminal. Again, this is very useful for you to carry out reconciliations, to carry out audits, so that nothing is missed. It helps you to have good control over your business. In a different way, this also helps you to find out the footfall, the productive footfall in each of your shops. Over a period, you can find out the number of receipts per day. That allows you to find out how many customers which actually came to your shop and made the payment. Product-wise sales reports. Again, another interesting and very useful insight to your business. It provides a very useful insight to your business. Product-wise sales report instantly gives you how much each of your products in your offering contributes to your total sales. So it will tell you in amount as well as a percentage, what are your best performing products and maybe what are your worst performing products in a split second. So it's a very useful tool that you can use to gauge the individual importance of each of your product in sales. Sales by modifier is very useful, particularly to users in food and beverages and related industries. Now, for example, if you have a food truck, and if you have any complementing food, for example, if you're adding extra cheese for your pizza, if you're adding extra olives to your pizza, you can track the primary product, and you can also track which modifiers, which complementing products would actually be the best sellers, right? Accordingly, it will help you to plan promotions. It will help you to plan the stock. When you are going forward, this report is very useful in such a way. Another advanced sales report that we have is the Shopify sales report. Again, when you have multiple shops, this will allow you to find out which shop gives you the most sales. And thereby, you can guide, you can maneuver your sales effort to increase sales in shops which are not up to standards, and to do better in the shops that you are doing good sales. Another very important report that we have introduced would be the employee-wise sales report. Now, this is very important for you to manage your sales staff, you to manage the staff in your shop. This is extremely useful because you can measure their performance by the employee. You can measure how much sales they have brought in. Also, you can measure how much service charges they have earned, and this will be very useful again when you are evaluating employee performance, when you are identifying high performing employees, when you want to take disciplinary actions against employees. This will be a very good report in this sense. We also have a number of inventory reports. I should say sales play backend and the sales play POS system have a number of reports. But given the time restrictions, we are only limiting the presentation today to a very few of these reports for you to understand. If you haven't used it yet, you can start using it, and you can, you can experience the rest of it. These are just hand-picked ones for us for the discussion today, but we have many more reports and analytic tools within the sales play POS system. So when it comes to inventory reports, you have the inventory history report. This is again a perfect audit trail of what happened in your inventory. This tracks the stocks which came in via your GRNs, any stock adjustments, any stock transfers, anything related to stocks is captured within this report. So again, this is very useful for you to have perfect control over the inventory of your business. Inventory expiry report, again, is very useful, particularly if you are in an industry where some of your inventory may expire. This will be very applicable for the food and beverages industry, retail industry, pharmaceutical industry, where your products will have a specific expiry date. So when you are entering the GRN, at the time you enter the goods received note, you can specify the expiry date. And when you run this report, you can understand how much of that particular stock is about to expire and within within the next few days. So you can plan your sales, you can plan how you keep your inventory. Also, you can plan promotions if you want to get rid of inventory which are going to expire soon. So that's about what I want to say today. So we started off with explaining the features of the new Sales Play app, which is about to release in end June. In a week's time, it will be out there. You can enjoy the features of that, which is the inventory-related centralized POS release. And we also, in the second half of the presentation, I explained you some of the key reports that we have at your disposal, which will help you immensely to grow your business. At Sales Play, it's all about you and us facilitating your business. And we believe that we should grow with you, and in return, we would endeavor to give you the best performing mobile app, which will help you to drive your business. Thank you.